Are you one of those people who are planning to come to the US but you're so confused and you just want to know if you'll ever find a job in the US or if it's still worth all the effort of taking that debt of $200,000? Or you're one of those people who are feeling like you did everything right, you got the degree, you landed in the US full of hope, only to realize that the job market does not seem to have a place for you anymore? Well, you are not alone. I have been there myself, and so have thousands of others who've moved here only to find themselves in a limbo. Stay till the end because I am sharing some strategical moves to help you find your dream role. Well, I came to the US about 5 years ago to get my business degree and get a job in tech. Back in India, I had a career working as a consultant for some of the big tech companies, and I had a lot of American clients that I was dealing with on day-to-day basis, which really fascinated me and got me excited to come and work here and experience a different culture. Before we dig deeper into my story, let's talk about the current reality of the US job market in 2025, especially for immigrants. And let me help you find some of the answers. Is it still worth coming here? Should you keep trying? Or is it time to change the way we look at work, fulfillment, and what are some of the ways to find opportunities in America? Facts first, the reality is that the job market in 2025 is not what it used to be, maybe pre-COVID, and especially in tech. Over 300,000 tech workers were laid off in the last 18 months alone. That includes everyone from junior software engineers to seasoned product managers to even vice presidents of the companies, and a lot of roles have been affected. There's not in particular one reason for it, but it all adds up due to that economic shutdown, rising political issues, and company budgets are getting tighter. So they're really hiring on a budget, and why not? They are able to hire top talent at low pay right now, so they are hiring cautiously. And of course, I don't even need to mention it, but the AI revolution is doing so much. It's also impacting some entry-level jobs. So to give you an idea of the overall stats, the 22 to 27-year-olds recent grad group has had a higher unemployment rate than the overall American labor force since 2021. I came here with the idea that I'll have jobs lined up for me as soon as I graduate, but there is high competition right now, so just being dependent on your education degree to get a job is no longer going to serve you. The times have reversed. Earlier, it was a typical trend for young grads to graduate and then outperform in the broader labor market, but that's not happening anymore. A lot of new grads are finding it very hard to find jobs, even at the entry level. The ones who have experience are also in the same boat because of the firings and mass layoffs has greatly also affected the millennials, and the layoffs has been rising and more than 400% between 2022 January and 2024. So job postings for a lot of management roles on all of these job platforms are also trending downwards. So this is a bigger picture for everyone in the US, but is where it gets even tougher if you're an immigrant, because you're not just competing for a job among a global talent for a specific skill set, you're also demanding a lot more from the companies, like visa timelines, you're giving them a lot of legal paperwork and sponsorships. So right now companies are getting more inclined to invest in people who are more reliable and who can just stay forever and do not demand these additional workload from them, which also comes with a financial cost, especially when they are also cutting down on their diversity departments along with the HR. You won't believe it, my manager in one of my previous companies, he didn't even know how visa thing works and how do foreign immigrants come and work here in the US, and that's totally fair because they don't really need to know. So there are a lot of big and small companies who don't sponsor and they know nothing about this process. So if you are making up your mind of finding a job in the US, you really need to know which companies are going to sponsor and which ones are just willing to do it for you, even if they are new in the business, and you have to give them a solid reason for that. Visas like H1B, OPT, they are really going on the less preferred list for candidates, and they are definitely a limiting factor on your job selection process. And you might be thinking, oh, it's not going to impact you because you are really brilliant. Well, I hope it does not impact you, but it's quite possible that even if you are very brilliant, you have to face a lot of rejection. I've seen Ivy League grads, top tier coders, and brilliant marketers applying to thousands and thousands of jobs and getting ghosted. Not even a rejection, just plain silence. Sometimes you can also question your self-worth, and it can really impact your confidence because it does take a toll on you facing a lot of rejections before you get that opportunity. But again, let me be clear here. You are not the problem if you're doing everything you can which is in your control. For example, if you're building your interview skills, if you're really in the top 1% of your field, if you're showcasing all of that to the right people at the right time in the right companies, all the things that are in your control, if you're doing that, then be confident that it is likely that you will get your shot. It may take months and years in some cases, so be prepared for that. There are a lot of good success stories as well out there where recent grad students and people who got laid off found new job opportunities. There was one recent grad student who came from Pune to California, and after giving his 100% dedicated efforts and persistence, he did find a job in one of the startup companies. So some people are making it work. So it's not all bad, but I really wish that someone had told me 5 years ago about failures as well, so I could have been better prepared in my journey. So is everything hopeless? Not at all. I still have faith in the system that you can find jobs, and it's improving slowly. But yes, you have to fight for it, and you have to create a strategy and a plan for it. It won't just happen overnight, nor would it happen just your current experience. You need to get smarter where the opportunities actually are. So tech adjacent roles are growing. Think like product ops, AI support, and anything related to AI, it's a no-brainer. Cloud computing and digital infrastructure. And if I talk about the industries, there's healthcare, there's construction, there's energy, there's cybersecurity. I've seen there are always jobs in these sectors, and they are also more open to immigrants than people realize. So even if FANG is not hiring at scale like it used to, and even other big companies like Salesforce, Microsoft, ServiceNow, even if they are not hiring or sponsoring, there are startups in different industries, and you can always find tech in banking sector and educational sector. They are picking up again. So it is really a game of resilience and perseverance right now, along with a lot of hard work in developing yourself as a person. But it's still possible to some extent to find opportunities that are right for you with some guidance, with some additional help and support. Now, if you want to know more about what strategy can you adopt to find success and jobs in the US, and how can you build your resume better that gets 100% picked up from the recruiters, what really works, what doesn't work at this point in time. If it all sounds good, then share it in the comments what you wish to know exactly, and I would be happy to create some separate videos on that in the coming weeks. And if you have more questions just on your specific profile, then book a free one-on-one clarity call with me on my website. Now, of course, there's one thing about getting a job, but then also another thing about salary expectation for your roles. So I would like to highlight that high skill, like STEM compatible jobs, like software engineer jobs and data science roles and analyst roles, they can pay well, somewhere above $100,000, often more, especially if you are a senior level or if you're in a bigger company. But for smaller companies, yes, expect somewhere around that or a little less. But if you're looking at product manager's role after graduation, even from entry level, they can start from 60-70,000 to 180 to 200,000, and of course they move up based on your experience and what you bring to the table. This range is very wide because it's really heavily dependent on location, on the company that you're looking at. For the same role, you could be making $150,000 in Silicon Valley, but you might have to see 10 to 40% less if you're in Kansas or Colorado. So do your research on your role. There are tons of websites out there that can help you find the approximate salary ranges for the dedicated company and the role. But it's possible that as immigrants, you might have to negotiate a little bit more for entry-level roles. So here are 3 things that I would do differently if I was starting out again, and something that maybe you can also adopt going forward that can help you be more strategic in finding your role and be more successful and increase your chances of success in your job hunt. So number 1 is upskilling for future-proof roles. So upskill for roles that are beyond your education or just experience. If you're like a software engineer, then you should upskill to like cloud infrastructure. You should know about the OpenAI APIs. If you're like a DevOps engineer, then learn about security tools, about infrastructure like Terraform. If you're like a project manager or a product manager, know about AI, ML, upskill to product design, learn no code or automation tools. And this is just examples, but do as much more you learn about AI tools, really get good at them, and do more and more of certifications that can really show the credibility of the work you've done. Even if you don't have as much experience in these, it's really could increase your chances of getting interview calls and make you stand out among other applicants. Just doing what you're told to do is no longer the expectation here. It's also good if you do a lot of other certifications and you upskill, because you are just broadening your horizon, giving you better chances at looking at different roles. It's always better to know about the trends in your industry and not just knowing about it, but also try to teach others and share that knowledge on other social platforms to build that credibility. Another quick tip that I've seen that really benefits is be the jack of all trades. Don't say no to anything. Be open to learning new tools and wear a lot of hats in the company. For me, if I was a marketing consultant, so I was not just doing marketing, I was also doing data analytics with that. If I was doing project management at one point in time in my career, then I was also doing account management and trying to get new clients for the company. It helps you and the company both. Second is network like a pro. If you're coming here, be open and comfortable to talking to people. Reach out to them. Reach out to people in your local communities, but also lean into other free online events. Go to company conferences and try to have a broader picture of talking to people, and attending job hunting events can also be very useful. It's all about making a few connections that can really help and support you in your journey. You can practice with them, you can get in touch with the HRs for any new openings that come up. I have got several interviews through just building connections through LinkedIn, in my college, in my attending networking events, and that really helped me to get a lot more interviews. Number 3 is also related to this. Use a lot of referrals. If you build a strong network, you can ask for a lot of referrals. You create a list of companies that have sponsored before and are hiring in your domain, and tailor your resume to each role and company, and then send it through that referral. There are a lot of companies in the US that actually, especially small and medium companies, where you are hired only through referrals and the job is not even posted on LinkedIn or any other social platform. So find these companies. There are a lot of links. If you need, I can put them in the description below. So definitely the American job market has changed a lot in the last 5 to 6 years. But that doesn't mean that there are no opportunities at all. It's just that your strategies and plan needs to evolve with the times. It's just a very different kind of path that is not talked about a lot now, but you need a lot of courage, creativity, and community help to find your, I won't say perfect role, but close to a perfect role. In some cases, actually, you might even get your dream job if you do it right. So the bigger question is if it's still worth it. Coming to America and dealing with all these situations, it really depends on you. Whatever input you will give is the kind of output you will get. For me, if I have to say for sure, I would go through everything I did in my past 5 years here. I would go through all of that effort again, and I would learn new things and see everything and still make an effort to give my best here and find opportunities here. But yes, I would do them a lot different this time. Instead of going through that traditional path and being dependent on that traditional path, I would look at a different strategy of doing things and be more open to new ideas and the new way of doing things. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to comment and share it with someone who needs to hear this today. Also check out the link in the description for some of the resources that we talked about. And if you do want some personalized help with your journey, book a one-on-one clarity session with me. Let's figure this out together. This is your American bestie signing off for now, but always rooting for you. Bye.